Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine on this Monday morning. Tell me why we don't like Mondays. Of course, we love Mondays, guys. I love Monday. It's another day. It's another dollar. It's another chance to make history for every single one of us, of course, guys. Guys, listen. But more importantly, it's another day to sign some bloody players from Manchester United, isn't it? Guys, before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to smash a like on the video. Don't forget to put your notifications on. All that jazz. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. You're absolute legends. Now, let's get into it. Guys, in regards to the managerial situation at the moment, of course, Michael Carrick is currently the interim manager of Manchester United. Got off to a flying start of the weekend. What a weekend for Manchester United, defeating Manchester City 2-0. Not only defeating Man United 2-0, it was a 5-0. It was a 6-0. In my head, it was a 5 or 6-0, guys. We absolutely annihilated them, guys, day before yesterday. Absolutely fantastic result, of course. But, guys, in regards to the future of Manchester United, Nico Kovac, the Borussia Dortmund manager, has emerged as one of the contenders for the managerial position, guys. Now, Nico Kovac is a 54-year-old, currently managing Borussia Dortmund, has also managed Bayern Munich, has also managed Wolfsburg, Frankfurt, and Croatia already in his short time as a manager. He's won the German Cup with Bayern Munich. He's won the German League with Bayern Munich. He's won the German Super Cup a couple of times with Bayern Munich. He's won the German Cup with Frankfurt as well. So he's done a few bits and pieces in regards to football, but he has emerged as one of the top contenders for the managerial position at Manchester United. What do you think about that? I'm not too sure, guys. I'm really not. Now, biggest question is, what formation does Nico Kovac play? He plays a 3-4-2-1 a lot. He has played it quite often during his career, but he does revert to a 4 many times during his tenure at Bayern Munich. Currently, he's managing by Dortmund, so obviously he's reverting to the 3 at the back. But he does revert. He does go back to the 4 guys on occasion. So quite versatile, quite a stand-up sort of manager in regards to his formation, his tactical adjustments and stuff like that. So yeah, a good manager and a bit of a surprise, Nico Kovac, guys. I remember him playing. I'm old enough to remember him playing, of course. Absolutely phenomenal player. But yeah, and he's also managed Croatia, so he's got that international experience as well. He has emerged as one of the top targets for Man United in regards to the managerial future of Manchester United, of course, guys. What do you make of that? What do you make of Nico Kovac? How do you feel about Nico Kovac, guys? Do you think that would be a good move for Man United, or you think, nah, he's not the guy for me? Because at the end of the day, this next move for Manchester United needs to be the right move, guys. You know what I mean? I mean, especially if we get in the Champions League and we don't hire Michael Carrick, there's going to be a lot of eyes on Ineos. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing about when you get interim managers in. It can come back and slap you on the face, right? Carrick might do very well. Carrick might get Champions League football. And then if they don't give Carrick the job, their next duty is to pick the right manager. And if they get that wrong, that would be another one along the long list of failed appointments for them. You know? They can't do 2 in a row. Guys, they can't do 2 in a row. They can't do 2 appointments wrong in a row. I won't count Carrick as an appointment yet. Obviously, he's an interim manager, but they can't do 2 full-time appointments in a row, in my opinion. But Nico Kovac, Manchester United, linked, of course, guys. Of course, he will come to Man United. Of course, he's currently managing Dortmund. Now, guys, rumours circulating around the Middle East where I am, guys, right now, that Manchester United are set to bid 23 million euros for Ruben Neves. Now, Manchester United have scheduled a meeting with Michael Carrick in regards to the transfer window and going to ask Michael Carrick what he needs in his squad. Having looked at his squad for the last week or so, he's being asked, what do you need, Michael? Obviously, I need a midfielder. Now, Ruben Neves, of course, the 28-year-old going on 29, 63 caps for Portugal, wouldn't be a bad choice for Man United to bring in for this season, for the end of this season, and for next season, of course, guys, which will be absolutely helpful for our squad, of course, guys, considering the depth in our midfield is quite null and void. And one of the biggest concerns for me is Casemiro. Casemiro can't finish games. Casemiro is getting up to 55 minutes and 60 minutes, and that's it. He has to be taken off. I'm not saying that we have to sell Casemiro, blah, blah, blah. But there is rumors that Casemiro may be going at the end of the season. He has to negotiate a new contract. Well, the year extension on his contract. If nothing happens, if a meeting is not scheduled, his contract will roll on to 2027. But Man United have the option to end it. But obviously, if it's ended, if no one does anything, it will roll on regardless, guys. Absolutely. So Ruben Neves to Manchester United from Al Hilal is still on. It's still on. How likely is it to happen? I'm not sure in regards to that. It does depend on Man United. This week's a very big week. The window closes on the 2nd of February, guys. So we've still got a bit of time. We've got a couple of weeks to go, guys. And just under a couple of weeks to go. So, you know what, let's hopefully we can get at least one player in there. You know what I mean? Just to help, even if it's a loan with an obligation, just get one player in there to help. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that would be absolutely fantastic, of course, guys. Now, guys, obviously we need to think about players that are leaving as well. It does look like Kobbie Mainoo will be staying for the time being, guys. It does look like he will stay, and that is good news, of course. And hopefully he can pick himself up and build his career, guys. And I hope he gets in the England team because I think he's better than Henderson and anyone like that. England need a player like Kobbie Mainoo in the squad, and I think he'll be brilliant. Kobbie Mainoo at the moment will not be going anywhere, and another player who won't be going anywhere is Joshua Zirkzee. Manchester United have cancelled any move for Joshua Zirkzee. He will not be leaving the club this window. Obviously, Man United squad is not the biggest squad in the world, so Man United are going to have to keep the players here, whether they rate them or not. Man United are going to be keeping Joshua Zirkzee. One team that Manchester United they need to look out for, to be honest, is Juventus. Now, Juventus are interested in Mazraoui. Of course, Mazraoui played last night in Morocco's defeat, 1-0 defeat to Senegal, the controversial defeat yesterday. And Juventus have earmarked Mazraoui, of course, with a transfer. Now, this could happen in the summer. However, I don't think Man United should even entertain any deals for Maz. Maz is a fantastic player. He's been one of our best signings post-Silence First. I'll be honest, guys. Been one of our best signings, to be honest. So, nothing's happening, guys, in regards to that. We will not sell Mazraoui, but Juve are very, very keen on the player, guys. Very keen on the player. Of course, fantastic player, guys. Absolutely. Juve are also looking at another player Man United were in for is Oscar Mingueza, of course, guys. So they're looking for a right back. So we got to keep our eye out for them and make sure that they don't, take any of our players. Of course, we need to get in the Champions League. I mean, obviously, what we have to understand is this, right? We have to understand that when we're not in the Champions League, we have to be very, very careful. Anyway, third player that could leave the club, obviously, Manu Ugarte. Manu Ugarte will not be leaving the club this window, but could be leaving the club in the summer. Ajax have emerged as contenders for Manu Ugarte's signature. Of course, Galatasaray were interested in Manu Ugarte, but that is sort of lowered and disintegrated, diluted a little bit. But Ajax have emerged as one of the contenders for Ugarte's signature, guys. So it does look like Manuel Ugarte may be leaving Manchester United in the summer. It hasn't worked out for him. And as much as I wanted it to work out for him, it just doesn't work out sometimes. That is life sometimes. It just doesn't work out, does it? At the end of the day, especially for footballers. I remember great footballers coming to this football club, Juan Sebastian Veron, for example. And it just didn't quite work out for them, if you know what I mean. But Manuel Ugarte could be going to Ajax. A player in regards to Man United. Man United are still looking at players this window, this January. So one of the players I mentioned yesterday is Pierre Kalulu. Manchester United are interested in signing Juventus defender Pierre Kalulu and face competition from Tottenham and Aston Villa. Pierre Kalulu can play as a right back as well. So obviously that's very interesting. They feel that Man United feel they need a backup right back. And I would agree because at the moment we've only got a natural right back. We've got Dorgu. That's about it. We got, Dalot. That's about it. Dorgu could play there, but he's not his natural side. But Manchester United are looking in to bring in Pierre Kalulu, the French international from Juventus, whether it is a loan with an obligation. Man United looking at Pierre Kalulu. Mentioned yesterday on Stretford Post, of course. Guys, one of the main guys that Man United are in for, one of the main players that Man United are in for, obviously, is Elliot Anderson. There's gone quiet in regards to him. I did say that he's not going to go anywhere in January. He's not going to go anywhere in January. Manchester United are interested in signing Elliot Anderson for Nottingham Forest this summer. guys, but not this window, of course. Elliot Anderson is a long-term target for Manchester United. It could be hoping Nottingham Forest are relegated to help with the potential signing of both Anderson and Murillo. Now, key here, key is if Nottingham Forest get relegated, Man United could possibly make a move for Murillo and Anderson. Murillo, of course, a centre-back Brazilian, 23-year-old, brilliant player, absolutely phenomenal player. Great find for Nottingham Forest, by the way. And we're bidding Anderson for a fee of around 150 million for the both, guys. Killing two birds with one stone. I don't know if we need a defender. I don't think Man United should be spending 80-odd million, 70 million, shall I say, on a midfielder. Guys, I don't think we should be doing that. I don't know what you think about that, but we've got obviously Mazraoui. We've got Mazraoui, of course. We've got De Ligt. We've got Leacher. We got Euro. We got Heaven. We got Kolungi coming through, Fredrickson coming through as well. And, we got a lot of defenders at the moment. If anything, we need right backs, players who could play the right back position and the left back position. I think that would be ideal rather than, getting too many centre backs, because we've got a lot of centre backs at the moment, guys. Absolutely. But there is going to be a lot of noise surrounding Manchester United, of course, this next couple of weeks until the 2nd of February. But one player that Man United are looking at as well is João Gomez, but Manchester United have been put off by his price tag. Now, João Gomez is a 24-year-old player who currently plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He has a 50 million price tag. Now, Man United think he's worth significantly less, considering that if Man United go in for a João Gomez, he will be 60, 70, obviously, because it's Man United. It's Man United tax, isn't it? The centre midfielder, CDM, guys, is a cost problem. So Man United are very interested in João Gomez, but the cost is too much. Guys, cost is a decisive factor with Manchester United at the moment. It's a decisive factor in us determining who we're going to get. Obviously, during this January transfer window, it is very difficult to get players because obviously teams don't want to sell their prize assets in the January window, especially if a team like Wolverhampton Wanderers, they're in the relegation zone and stuff like that. It does look like Wolves are going to be relegated. I think they have to accept that they're going to get relegated. And maybe this is the time for them to make a little bit of money, because when teams get relegated, they're more in a desperate kind of area, and obviously they lose out a lot of money on Premier League money. So they're going to have to sell some players. So that's why a lot of these relegation sides will look at selling their players in January, although it'll be a lot more expensive than it will be if they got relegated. But when you wait, as we know, you run the risk of missing out on these players to other football clubs, as we know, guys, well and truly. Like, Jeremy Jacquet, who I was speaking about, who was a Man United were interested in, has gone to Chelsea, guys, absolutely. But João Gomez now or wait, it's up. So it's now or never for Manchester United. The most realistic structure for a January transfer is a loan with an obligation to buy, whereas a direct permanent deal is more likely in the summer. So what Man United can do, they can try and agree an obligation, something on those lines. But I just don't think, in my opinion, that Wolverhampton Wanderers would do an obligation. They want the money full up, probably. They don't want any obligations. Obviously, they're a relegation side, and they still got an opportunity to save themselves as well. It's not that they're relegated at the moment. Do you know what I mean, guys? But if Man United wait into the summer, the fee could go down to about 35, 45 million. It could go down significantly, 10, 15 million. The price might go down. But right now, if Man United wanted to sign a João Gomez, it's going to cost 50 plus. So that's what we're looking at the moment, guys. Absolutely. Yeah, João Gomez is linked to a number of clubs, guys. But Manchester United are heavily interested in him. But obviously, it is a cost decisive thing, of course, guys. Now, a youngster at Man United, of course, on loan at Hull City's Toby Collier. Now, it was on loan, guys. He's on loan West Brom, sorry. He was on at West Brom, got an injury, had to come back to Manchester United. Hull City have agreed a deal to sign the Manchester United midfielder, Toby Collier. Now, look, it's a shame on Toby Collier because he started so well in his Manchester United career, played a lot of games, of course, guys. and he's injury prone, and that's the problem, isn't it? And that's what hampers a lot of young players in particular. Is when you have these injuries, it does harm you and your future aspirations, doesn't it? At the end of the day, and Hull City have emerged as the favourites to sign him. They put in an offer for him, guys, on loan until the end of the season. Collier's on loan to the end of the season, but he's coming back I think he's back at Man United at the moment. But they put an offer in, for Toby Collier, of course, guys. They've agreed a deal to sign him on loan, and guys, anyway, till the end of the season. So he will go to Hull City with an obligation to buy. So that is Toby Collier. So Toby Collier could be leaving Manchester United, 22-year-old. There, guys. It doesn't look like the future's bright for Toby Collier at Manchester United, of course, guys. Absolutely. So lots of rumours spreading, guys. Lots of stuff going on at Man United. Lots of news, lots of stuff. One more transfer, Man United, I want to talk about briefly, guys, is Milis Sevilla. Is the Manchester United linked goalkeeper from Roma. Of course, Man United are interested in bringing in some competition for Seny Lamens. However, that has gone stale. Man United are not looking to spend about 50 million on a backup goalkeeper or a first-team goalkeeper, some may say. Obviously, Milis Sevilla is 26-year-old international, of course, guys. So I don't think he's going to be playing second fiddle to that. Although Man United do need a second goal. But Bayindir looks to be going back to Turkey in the summer. So Man United do need to look at bringing in another goalkeeper, maybe bring Vitek back. But of course, with Vitek, he's interested in first-team football, which we cannot promise him, of course. Now, as the days go on, guys, it is going to be a lot of rumours spreading around Manchester United. Lots of managerial news, of course. Who's going to be the next permanent manager of Manchester United? And it's going to be very, very interesting this season, guys, because at the end of the day, if Michael Carrick wins the majority of his games, it's going to be very, very hard not to give Michael Carrick the job. And this is what I'm saying. This is the thing with interims. This is the thing with interims. You have to be, you have to take it. Like, at the end of the day, if he goes on this run, look, guys, let's say for argument's sake, he wins 16 out of 16, 17 out of 17. There's no way on this earth that they're not going to give him the job. It's impossible, guys, that they're not going to give him the job. There's no way, guys. They will have to give him the job, because if they make the wrong decision and they don't hire Michael Carrick, it's going to be like, oh, well, you should have hired Michael Carrick. You should have hired Michael Carrick. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to be a bit precarious for them, of course, guys. Absolutely. Let me just say hello to the community. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope everyone is blessed. Hope everyone is good, guys. Hope everyone, big up Sam. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Big up Tyrell, my legend. What's going on, bruv? Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon. Good evening. What's going on, Kenny? Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope everything is good with you. Big up Max. What's going on, mate? Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope everything was good with you, Max. Hope you're good. Of course, guys, big up Max in the house. Pep played a 3-1-6 Stone Cold Steve Austin formation. Absolutely, Kenny. Suicidal. Good morning, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. What a win. Versus Man City. World-class Man United win now. Big up Irfan. Hope you're well. Big up Marcus, the legend. What's going on, my guy? Hope you're doing well. You saw the AFCON, of course, done a watch-along yesterday. I saw it. Absolute Marcus. Crazy. Absolute madness. Big up. He's been fired a lot. Yeah. Typical. That means he's good for Man United then. Said it. Kovac, big up. Yeah, Kovac, Nico Kovac, my guy. Not remotely interested in Kovac, said Marcus. I don't think I am either, mate. I've only got on my list, it is none other than Luis Enrique. I want Luis Enrique, or I want probably De Zerbi. I think that's about it. It doesn't really extend big. The pool of managers out there are not great, guys. You look at the pool of managers in Europe at the moment. Ancelotti, De Zerbi, Luis Enrique. Probably I'd be happy and content with those managers right there. I'd be happy with those managers. Ancelotti would guarantee stability. Ancelotti would guarantee experience. I think Ancelotti would be a perfect manager for Man United. And realistically, honestly, guys, he will be a perfect manager for Man United, because Ancelotti, is the balance of experience, of personality and things like that. Won many trophies in his career, so no one can say anything to Ancelotti if he came in the football club. However, does it represent a short-term option, stopgap option? Because he's short-term. 66 years old, of course, is Ancelotti, of course. If I ask away 35 games, the 1+1 is automatic triggered as well. Yes, that's correct, Yale. Well said. That is correct. Kenny, he's got 20 games at the moment, I believe. 19 games at the moment Casemiro's got. We're halfway through the season. So he's got Casemiro. So if Casemiro goes 35 games, it automatically gets triggered. So that means he stays at Man United. So basically, if you leave him at the football club, he's going to get 35 games. Maybe. How many games possibly? What's the maximum games we can get? 16. I don't even think he can get to 35. He can, just about. Just about. So basically, if Casemiro misses 1 or 2 games, the contract doesn't get renewed. Kenny, wasn't this the same manager that didn't get along with the Bayern Munich board, or is it Nagelsmann? I'm not too sure, but Nico Kovac is a Bayern Munich legend, of course. I remember him playing for Bayern Munich, winning the Champions League and stuff like that. He's won trophies with Bayern Munich, won league with Bayern Munich. I think he's a very outspoken character, a disciplinarian. And, there's a lots of rumors surrounding Ineos and what type of manager. They don't want anyone to answer back. I think Jim wants that. I'm hearing that Jim wants someone who's a disciplinarian. But what Jim wants is a balance between a disciplinarian and someone who doesn't answer to the board. Basically, that's what he's looking for at the moment. So it's very hard to find that kind of thing, isn't it? Big up Kenny. Sam, if United should sell any defender, it should be Dalot. I think Dalot. Look, guys, I'm not going to flip flop. I think Dalot recently has done okay. I'm not going to completely. I like Dalot. I like his personality. I like his leadership. However, he's just not good enough. And I agree with you, Sam. I just don't think he's good enough. I think that fair play to him. He's always fit. He's professional. Guys, I mean, and if you hear about what his time at AC Milan, they would tell you that as well. But they will also tell you that, he's fit, he's professional and whatnot. But the problem with him, he's just not good enough. And that's about it, guys. Sadly, at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, look, we tried with Dalot. He's been there a long time now as well. What we have to understand, he's been there a long time. He's been there how long now? For 8 years, 7 years? Long time. Sam, United just need one midfielder to help Casemiro, even if it's a loan. I agree with you, Sam. Absolutely. Bring back Kova, Vitak. I agree with Kenny. Absolutely, we should. Because obviously, if Binder's leaving, we're going to need to look at replacing the goalkeeper. And we're not going to have Eaton, isn't it? Fun show, what's going on? I'm happy that our players can now last for 90 minutes sprinting, all thanks to Amram's adjustment. Big up, fan show. Good point. Amram did work a lot on fitness, of course, and now the players can run a little bit more. Of course, guys, there's a lot of overreaction in the fan base, and I'm delighted with the result at the weekend. Of course, I am. I'm absolutely buzzing by the Man City result. It was amazing. It was good to feel good after the game. Do you know what I mean? And not have to worry about that. Unfortunately, there are a few Man United fans out there, the self-righteous narcissists, who just want to be proven right. And they'll be proven right this week, be proven wrong next week. And it just ends in this repetitive cycle that we don't need as a fan base. We need to unite as a fan base, and we need to aim at one common goal. Like I've been saying many, many times, we need to aim at one common goal, which is success for Manchester United. It doesn't matter if I'm right. It doesn't matter if he's right. It doesn't matter if he's right. At the end of the day, all that matters is that we win and we stop being a bloody banter club, for crying out loud. Because whilst we fight each other, we are a banter club, guys. We're a laughing stock, guys. We're the African nations, guys, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We're a laughing stock. Last night, which was absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Look, we have to unite for one common goal at the end of the day. David, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Sal. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night fan. Big up, David. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Vishwa as well. Big up yourself. Good morning. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing good. Good to see you again, Vishwa. Very good to see you. Sam, my guy, if Carrick qualifies United to the Champions League, it will be foolish not to give the work. The guy is intelligent, doesn't talk too much. It will be very difficult, Sam, not to give him the job, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of nostalgic feelings towards Michael Carrick, and if he gets us in the Champions League, guys, the United fan base. I'm not going to be sitting here all delusional and that. The Man United fan base. The Man United fan base is going to be making songs. They'll be happy. They'll be jumping up and they give it Carrick, give it Carrick, give it Carrick. That's what they'll be doing. And it's going to be a lot of pressure on Ineos. And I don't think they're the sort of characters who are going to go, we're not going to give it to Carrick. They're going to listen to the social media. They're going to listen to the fans. There's nothing wrong in that. But at the end of the day, the PTSD does set in. But if they don't give it to Carrick, and for example, they hire Nico Kovac, and Nico Kovac falls flat on his face, then you're going to have to say, they're going to be under enormous pressure. If Michael Carrick qualifies for the Champions League, which would be an enormous achievement this season, of course, because a few teams that are competing for the Champions League, if they do qualify for the Champions League, they're going to have to give it. They're going to have to get... guys, I know that many people are going to say, oh, we shouldn't be giving it to Carrick. We shouldn't make There's no way you can't give it to Carrick, because at the end of the day, I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking to myself, like, if he gets in the Champions League, if he goes on this killer run, imagine we beat Arsenal next week, guys. There's going to be vibes, guys. The vibes are bad. Not bad, but they're mad at the moment, isn't it? The vibes are mad at the moment. Imagine we go and beat Arsenal at the Emirates. Imagine we go and beat Spurs and Fulham. Imagine that happens. Oh, my goodness me. We're going to be on cloud nine, guys. You know how delusional we can be sometimes. We're going to be proper delusional, guys, at the end of the day. But, you know, if he gets into those Champions League positions, like, guys, even Europa League to an extent, I do think it's going to be difficult for them. And another thing that will make it difficult for Ineos to sack him is money. It will be a cheap option to hire Michael Carrick. It will be cheapest option to hire Michael Carrick rather than getting another manager out there, Luis Enrique, for example, and Ancelotti, for example. It will be cheaper to get a Michael Carrick in, you know, at the end of the day. Hello, Albie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Guys, he's not outspoken. His actions speak louder than words. Look, I've heard a lot of things about Michael Carrick, and I have met Michael Carrick. I know about Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick, right? Having sat next to the bench a couple of times as well, guys on the South Stand. Michael Carrick is an undercover. He's a silent assassin. You remember what I said about Ruben Amorim was the smiling assassin? Michael Carrick is the silent assassin. He's the silent assassin. So Michael Carrick may look calm and collective in person, but behind the scenes, he doesn't take any bull. He doesn't take any crap from anybody. And you know what? He's got a perfect balance of personality. He's a likable character. Do you know what I mean? Look, obviously, people are going to throw the Middlesbrough thing at him. It's very difficult to achieve things at Middlesbrough. However, some people say he should have got promotion. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to get in the Championship. It is. It's very hard because you don't have that balance of talent in the Championship, of course, guys. So I wouldn't hold that against him. He did break a lot of records in the Championship. He did do some good things in the Championship. But Michael Carrick, I think, it's too early to say. Let me just say that, number one. It's too early to say Michael Carrick should be the manager. There are some people saying giving it to him now. Let's not go there, guys. Let's not go there. It's far too early to talk about Michael Carrick. But, guys, listen. He might not want the job. There is rumours that he doesn't want to manage Man United yet. He's happy to do the interim role, but he just wants to be a coach at the moment. And his next managerial job, he wants to go to a Crystal Palace, for example, or someone of that ilk. Could that happen? You know, he's not necessarily going to take the job. You know, that's one thing. David, the biggest test will be amongst Arsenal. We're away, absolutely. Our away record is bad, so all we need to do is lose, play like we did against that fraud team, City, for 90 minutes. We should not lose. Go Man United forever. Guys, if there's one game I want to win this season, it is Arsenal. That is one of the biggest games that I want to win this season. If there's one game I want to win, guys, please, Arsenal. We need to beat them, guys, at the end of the day, because they are very, very smug. They thought we won for them. They're saying, thank you, Man United fans. You know, thank you, Man United fans. It made me nauseous. I'm telling you right now. Don't you thank us. It's nothing to do with you. It's to do with us. What are you talking about? We're Man United. We're doing it for ourselves. We've got to qualify for the Champions League and stuff like that. I've got something on my shoulder. Don't know what that is. Yeah, we're not doing it for you. I mean, we need to go out there and just prove we're not doing it for them. Go and beat Arsenal next week at the end of the day, guys. That's what we need to do. When did we sign? 2018-ish? Yeah, long time ago, mate. Mad, isn't it? Yeah, Dalot has been done okay recently, but way too error-prone. Exactly, my friend. Exactly. Black Sheep, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. The common goal is we should be aiming at is doing an AC Milan and emptying the stadium. You see how quick the Glazers are. The problem is, Black Sheep, you know, with AC Milan and Inter Milan, they have the ultras. So the ultras are not just fans. They're like the mafia. And, you know, managers and managing directors have to answer to the ultras on the pitch at full time. If something happened on the pitch, they go out on the pitch and they answer to the ultras. If you know, you go on YouTube, you'll see it. Of course, AC Milan were owned once by Silvio Berlusconi. And we all know who Silvio Berlusconi is and who Silvio Berlusconi was. So a lot of these teams, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Lazio, Roma, are run by ultras. They're run by that. They're run by fanatics, guys, you know, and it's different to Man United. Man United fan base, It's hard to say. We used to have a firm, and those who knows what a firm is. I don't promote firm and hooliganism and that, but Man United used to have a very, very potent firm, and it used to be fearful. We used to be a fearful club. People used to fear us. I just think that we become a little bit of a soft touch, if you know what I mean. If you scroll back to 2005 and look at the protests against the Glazers when they first came into the football club, you will see a huge difference. Just tell me what you see. Protest Glazers 2005. Just tell me what you see. You will see, you will see something that, you know what, you wouldn't see today. You know, at the end of the day. And I just feel like we soften, we become content, we become accepting. And this is the biggest issue with Man United. We become easily pleased. Look at the weekend, guys. Look at the weekend. How easily pleased we were. Everyone gone quiet about the Glazers and Ineos. This is what we're talking about. Not me. Not me. I'm still preaching Glazers out, Ineos out every single time. People going crazy. People going quiet and people forgetting about it. Great. You could celebrate a win, but just don't forget what's most important, guys. You have to remember what's the most important thing, guys. Man United's future. This is for Man United's future. If you want more days like the Man City day on Saturday, you've got to get those people out, those leeches out this football club. Absolutely. Big up Black Sheep. I saw a lot of comments from United fans saying that Carrick had the contract reminding me about Ole. You remember Rio Ferdinand as well? That's true, Sal. They're so easy pleased at times. We flip-flop from happiness to sadness too quickly. It's just like why Ruben Amorim was sacked and the Ruben Amorim outers. They got too quick. Guys, Michael Carrick will lose to Arsenal. If Michael Carrick loses to Arsenal, for example, all right, let me give you an example. If Michael Carrick loses to Arsenal and draws to Fulham, the Knights will be out. You know, the same man, them minions. They'll be out again, guys. They'll be out again next to their phone boxes outside Old Trafford, you know, together. You know what I mean? The man, them millions will be there. Guys, I'm going, oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, you know what? I've got second thoughts on him. I've got second thoughts on Michael Carrick. You know, I don't think he's tactically there yet. You know what I mean, though? You know what I mean, bruv? You know what I mean, bruv? You know, that's what it's going to be. You know as well as I do, guys. Everyone was advocating for Ruben Amorim. Everyone was advocating for Erik ten Hag before they came into this football club. You know what I mean? They're going to do the same to Michael Carrick. They're going to throw Michael Carrick under the bus, guys. Don't worry about that. David, United is looking outside of England with no Premier League experience. Tuchel and Ancelotti are the only ones I'll say, okay, but Carrick should get first preference because he's already there. He shouldn't. No, he shouldn't get first preference. No, absolutely not. Why should he get first? Because he's a former player. Pep wasn't a former Premier League manager. He's never managed in the Premier League before. When Alex Ferguson came to the Premier League, he never managed in England before. It weren't the Premier League, but it was Division 1 back then. You know, when Arsene Wenger came into the Premier League, he never managed in the Premier League before. You know, all the most successful managers, Antonio Conte, when he came to the Premier League, he never managed the Premier League before. You know, he won leagues. You know, we could go on. Jose Mourinho, when he came to the Premier League, he never managed in the Premier League before. Look, we can't paint him on the side. He shouldn't get preference. Nobody should get preference. What matters, you know what preference is? Results. That's what matters. If Michael Carrick gets fourth place, then yeah, he gets preference. But if he doesn't, why should he get preference over those managers? Why should it be a Premier League proven manager when history proves that it doesn't matter if he's a Premier League proven? That's a myth. You narrow your search down to nothing. This is, you know, at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, if Michael Carrick comes 8th or 7th or even 6th, it's going to be like, well, you know what? We're going to get a manager like Luis Enrique and something like that. And I think that will be decent, of course. Morning, David. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Fab Saturday result. Hope it continues. Absolutely. Big up United Choir Ground. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing, brother. Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sal. Morning, my bro. I'm staying grounded. You should, like me. United have shown they can perform against the big teams in the past. Exactly, my guy. I'll get excited when I see the level against Fulham, West Ham, and Everton. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. Look, I'm not saying like Man United have to go out there and win every single game. That's going to be impossible when you're looking at the games that come. We've got Newcastle away, of course, guys. We got a couple of very difficult games to come. We've got Liverpool at home. Maybe that's not so difficult. But we've also got a few hard games in there. And Chelsea, we've got, you know, and we've got some tough games coming up, guys. So what I would say is absolutely, my friend, United Choir Ground. I would say that Man United need to be grounded, as you said there, and Man United need to be patient, and Man United need to not be immature here. We need to be mature, guys. We need to look at things objectively, right? And look, if we beat Arsenal next week, vibes will be good. But exactly what my guy said here. We've done this before. We've done this before. We've beaten City at the Etihad. We're beating City at Old Trafford now. We're beating Arsenal at the Emirates with 10 men. We're beating Chelsea. We're beating Newcastle. We're beating Palace away. You know, we're beating Aston Villa. We're beating everyone. There's no one else to beat in the last 14 months, 13 months. There's no one else to beat. We're beating everyone. But tell me the record against Bournemouth, Wolves, Everton, West Ham, Tottenham. Tell me the record against those teams. You know what I mean? This is the thing. This is where we as fans need to be calm, and we need to say, okay, let's see what happens. And let's see what happens against the low block, because the low block is where intelligence comes into it. The low block is where the players have to negotiate how to get through the low block, and the manager, of course, guys. This is something that we have struggled to do, not only over the last year, but over the last 5 to 10 years. We've struggled with the low block. Teams are playing counter-attack against us. And this is the thing. People think counter-attack is Man United's DNA. Absolute clowns. You know, they're looking at Man United play counter-attack football against Man City. It was a good performance, but Man United play counter-attack football. But the only reason it looked good is because Man United were allowed to play counter-attack football. We done this under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You remember we beat Man City 3-1 at Old Trafford when McTominay scored from near the halfway line? Counter-attack football. That's what we did, and we look good, and we're back, and blah, 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 blah. Well, let's wait until Fulham's and West Ham's and Everton's of this world, when they sit back and they play counter-attack football, and then let's see where we are. And let's not jump. You know what I mean? A very intelligent comment from my guy there. Thank you so much, my bro. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Albie. How you doing? Enrique or Glazer, the betting player seems to think who we would get. I do not want Glasner anywhere near Manchester United. I prefer Carrick. If it was between Glasner and it was Carrick, it's all day Carrick, man. I'm sorry. I do not want Glasner anywhere near. I mean, listen, there's Tyborg in the chat. Tyborg is a German. He says Glasner's not the guy. He's good for smaller clubs, but he's not for Manchester United. Honestly, I wouldn't want him. Guys, absolutely. Vishwa, I'm happy with the result, but I'm not going to get carried away. Big up, Vishwa. Absolutely. Good thinking. Everyone forgot about the ownership. Exactly. Like, this is the problem. I never forget about the ownership. Certain people like Mark Goldbridge and United Stan don't forget about the ownership. I do not forget about the ownership. And people who want the best for this football club do not forget about the ownership. Right? It's very easy to get carried away here. There are people saying, oh, kudos to Ineos. No kudos to Ineos. I do not give any kudos to Ineos. Nothing. No kudos to Ineos. No kudos to the Glazers. Sell the football club. Full sell. Glazers out. Absolutely. All day long. Max, what's going on, my guy? Sal, we should be tell Arsenal fans you can thank us by losing next week. Yeah, exactly that. Wouldn't it be a powerful statement if Man United go to the Emirates next week and win? A massive statement. I mean, win in 90 minutes. Outright. 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, 4-2, anything, guys. It'd be a huge statement for Man United to do that. It'd be a massive statement, in my opinion. And if we manage to do that, guys, oh boy, I think the vibes are going to go up a little bit of a notch as well, because Arsenal at the end of the day, and obviously the fans are very vocal and they're very loud. The Arsenal fans are the most obnoxious fans, I think, in the world. I think they're the Champions League. They're the Real Madrid of annoying fans. That's what they are. They're this unbeatable. They're the most annoying fans. You go to any ground and you put a mic towards any fan, Everton, Tottenham, Newcastle, Southampton, you go, who are the most annoying fans in England? And they will tell you, Arsenal. Arsenal straight away. They'll tell you, without even saying, go to Africa, go to America, go anywhere. They tell you, who are the most annoying fans in England? Arsenal. That's what they tell you. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Christian, what's going on, my friend? Are we doing well? Morning, sir. I believe Carrick was the brain behind Ole's success at Old Trafford. Maybe. Technical. He's good at what he does. He won't lose to Arsenal. There's a belief in the team. Arsenal must play in the Champions League. Yeah, but Arsenal are through in the Champions League, Christian. So they're playing a weakened side. So it doesn't really matter. And as Roy, if you listen to Roy Keane, and Roy Keane is spot on. The more football you play, the more momentum you get. Playing one game a week doesn't necessarily mean you're better. Ask the treble winning side. Momentum is important. But Arsenal against Inter Milan will play a weakened side. They can afford to do that. They're through, basically. They're top of the league. It's over. They're going through. So I won't put all my eggs in that basket. However, I don't think we're going to lose. I don't. And I hope we don't. And I hope we're going to win. And I hope we can just focus on getting these difficult games out the way. Obviously, Arsenal's the most difficult game at the moment. Getting this game at the moment, the most difficult game in the season, Arsenal away right now. Get this game out of the way and let's move on to Fulham. But you know, the funny thing about Man United is that this is what's going to test me. We might beat Arsenal and lose to Fulham. And then I'm going to be fuming. Because I've been here before. Guys, we've been through this before. Let's not be foolish here. Let's not be immature. We've seen it before. We can give you loads of examples where we've beaten big teams. Remember when we beat Man City 3-2? When Pogba, we came back from 2-0 down and won 3-2 and we go and lose to West Brom or Burnley and that. You know what I mean? It's exactly the same thing now. Benny, we win our home games first and foremost, aim for 40 points and hopefully that picks up and gets a haircut. I hope so, mate, because I'm tired of seeing these mutt face. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Carrick does have good stuff around him. Holland knows his stuff. I want to beat Arsenal, Spurs, and no shit, Yale. I mean, you don't want to beat Arsenal, Spurs, and any Man United wants to beat. Why do people say that? I want to beat Chelsea, Arsenal, and that. No wonder. No shit, Sherlock, Yale. You know, at the end of the day. And Holland is a good coach. Well, he fouled at England, though. I would say that. Fouled miserably at England. Was Gareth Southgate's right-hand man. Experienced. Good coach as an Englishman. I'm not sure about that, man. Don't get carried away. Johnny Evans is not experienced as a coach, so what makes him a good coach? Explain to me, Jale. Come out with the birds and the bees, my friend. Kenny, Glasner wants the sack. Yeah, absolutely. Sal, 100% agree. The Glasner away from United. Don't want him anywhere near United. That's failure written all over it. Max, Amram said low IQ when they played against Wolves. Yes, and they still got it. You can't build low IQ with a new manager. Mr. Reneso, agreed. You've got to look back at the end of the season and judge everything from the performances and the results. These lower table teams aren't easy. Look at Wolves causing trouble. Look at Wolves beating Aston Villa yesterday away from home. How many games did Aston Villa go unbeaten? And they went and beat Aston Villa. Didn't they win 9 in a row, 10 in a row, or something like that? Look at them. Look at them losing to Wolves at home. Guys, remember under Ruben Amorim. Do you remember under Ruben Amorim, guys? Do you remember this old chestnut? Do you remember when we beat Wolves 4-1? You remember when we beat Wolves 4-1 and the man, them minions were saying, oh my goodness, how can you concede a goal against Wolves? How can you concede a goal against Wolves? There you go, guys. There you go. What's going on? They lost to Arsenal by 2 own goals, 2-1. And look, they beat Villa away. Guys, this is why you don't listen to man, them minions. This is the problem. We beat them 4-1 at Molineux away from home. You know what I mean? And people are like, the people are criticizing Ruben Amorim for that. That's so stupid. Honestly. Wolves are going to stay up, says Kenny. Big statement. We will beat Arsenal next week. It's Fulham I worry about, Benny. If we beat Arsenal, it's a difficult game. That's going to be their Reminatada Stadium season. Absolutely. Let's wait and see. Ineos are trying to replicate what the other clubs are doing, RE football structure, but they have the wrong people running it. They should get ex-players in those key positions. DOF Academy Director. Chidosi, morning Sal. Let's not be Carrick away. Big up, my guy. Big up, Chidosi. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Of course, Kenny. We were always fumbled against the teams like Sheffield United, etc. over the years. Recent years, definitely, Kenny. Absolutely. Black Sheep. How crazy to think that that how we played on Saturday was commonplace under Fergie. We didn't play counter-attack like that. How far we've fallen is scary that we lose our minds when we see a glimpse of old United on Saturday. It wasn't even old United. Man United didn't used to play counter-attack like that. We used to dominate on the front foot. That was counter-attacking football. The new guys, the new people, the young people in the fan base think that is Man United. Nah. It was counter-attacking football. Good morning. Caught you live. Big up, Timothy. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Timothy Carr. Big up yourself. We beat Liverpool's at Anfield. I know Arsenal is not Liverpool's, but we are United, so we need to go respect them, but not fear them. It's going to be difficult now. Absolutely, Yale. Absolutely. It's going to be difficult, and we should not fear them, guys. Absolutely. Big up, Sal. We are so gullible as fans because now the City game has beaten stick for Amorim, but we forget it's a cycle which will leave us keeping the same failing players again and again. LT, you make a good point there, mate. It's worrying. It's scary. We can't keep the same players. We do need a rebuild, and we still need a rebuild. We still need half of that team rebuilt, and we still need replacements for some of those players that are simply not good enough, in my opinion. They don't have the mentality, unfortunately, and some of them don't have the talent. We have a lot of talent in this squad. A lot of talent. It's proved it at the weekend. However, we do have a lot of players who are not up to scratch. And as we know, it only takes one or two players to absolutely ruin the fruit bowl at the end of the day, guys. At the end of the day. Guys, absolutely. Normal lad. Let's all make fun of normal lad, guys. Cry more, fake fan. You want Amaranth. Fake fan, mate. Your mother's fake, mate. That's what it is, normal lad. Your mother's fake. You don't know who your mother is. I support my football team. I support any manager. I supported Eric Ten Hag, mate, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I supported Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I supported all of them. I support my football team. I've been to over 500 games, mate. What have you done, mate, apart from sit here, normal lad? You're a waste man, lad, mate. That's all you are. Why are you on my channel? Well, you could be anywhere in the world, mate. You're on my channel. You know what I mean? Are you knocking one out to me, you dirty bastard? You know what I mean? Get out of here, you little prat. Look at you. You know, look at that. I'm going to come on. I'm going to score. And you're an idiot, mate. No one respects you at Man United. I can walk to Old Trafford. I could go to Old Trafford right now. Everyone knows who I am. They don't know who you are, mate. You're a loser, mate. I won't get your visa now. I'm not going to get you a visa to go to Man United now. I've changed my mind. That's it. You know what I mean? I would have bought your visa and bought your flight ticket. But you know what? You're not having nothing now. Sod you, normal lad. Sod you. Mr. Renaso. Everton beat Villa, Wolves, drew to Everton. Yeah, that was it. Sorry. Yeah, it was Villa. Yeah, absolutely. Who's crying? Such an idiotic comment. An idiotic person from an idiotic life, my guy, Kenny. It's an idiotic life. He's got no life. He's a waste man. He's always been a waste man. He comes on here, cry more, cry more. Man, them minions. You know, at the end of the day, cry more, mate. You cry more, mate. Sitting in your barn, whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? You cry more. No, I mean, not me, because at the end of the day, I wake up every morning with a smile on my face, ready to meet my great community and talk about this great community, what I have. Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. You absolute legends. We are a family here, and we don't tolerate any shit bags, as they call it. Tottenham Hotspur are atrocious, and they have our overrated player, Samuel. I think they have an overrated manager, in my opinion, as well. Guys, if it's true about Neves, which player is good to pair with Neves in midfield, mainly with Casemiro? I don't know. I mean, obviously, you never know, my friend, formation. I'm not going to come in there and pretend I'm an oracle of football and can see the future. However, what I would say about Neves, anyone would partner him well. I think Casemiro, obviously, because I think Neves can move forward. But I also think that Neves can play that number 6 role pretty well. And I think that Mainu will look good next to him. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But what would be good is to seeing a good squad, you know, and seeing a player like Neves at Man United. Do you know what I mean? And having a better squad than we have right now. Because at the moment, when you're looking at a midfield, it's very lightweight, isn't it? When you're thinking Casemiro, Mainu, Ugarte, that's it. That's where the buck stops. There's nobody else. And yeah, we need to bring someone in. And anyway, but he's a good player, Neves. Anyway, great players can play with a lot of players, of course. Big up Timothy, good man. Hope you're well too. Hello, chat. Big up Timothy, legend, of course. You say that, Sal, but I'll never forget that counter-attack goal. Ronaldo and Rooney scored so much a goal, and we scored with Bruno and Bremo. Yeah, but that's not what Man United are. That's not the DNA of Man United. Man United always play in the front foot. If you look at those games happen. Those counter-attacks happen because that other team pushed forward and they were losing the game. And that's why it is. But Man United used to play forward from the beginning. Take it from a man of 40 years experience, Black Sheep. Supporting Man United throughout the whole of Alex Ferguson period. Man United used to start games buff. Low block, high block, mid block, buff. Man United were on it from the beginning. Balls into the box, passing forward. We're still very run, pass back, sideways, pass back, run, pass back. And that's why it's going to be a very big test when we play Fulham and we play Wolves and that. And I'm going to bring it up to you if we don't beat those teams. Darren, big up my friend, get in, Sal. Big up my friend, get in, Darren. Big up my guy, absolutely. Big up my friend. I also understand when people say we were playing defensive, rigid football, yet we've created the most chances in the league with Amram. Exactly that. Now everyone is making us, if Carrick worked wonders with them. This is the narrative, isn't it? And this is the immaturity and lack of intelligence and lack of IQ from some people. Unfortunately, it's not their fault. Some of them were kicked by a horse. Some of them were dropped from their council stat flat bump bed when they were born. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what I would say is this, right? We are third in chances created, and Amarim, we were third in regards to goals as well. So this DNA was already there. And it's just ridiculous because we've had good games under Amarim. We've had good games under Erik ten Hag. We've always been like this. We've had good games, consistently at the end of the day. Darren, there's always one. Big Sal, big up, my friend. Yeah, I shut them down, mate. I shut them down. They're waste man. You know what I mean? Well, a lack of energy. You know what I would do? You know what I mean? All these people need to be lined up like cattle, right? And they need to just go out and do some picking plants or something like that and make themselves useful if they can do that. The league is very inconsistent this season, but with Man City and Aston Villa on the same points, wouldn't be surprised if Villa pushes for a title charge if Arsenal slip up. Wow, imagine that. Imagine Aston Villa won the league. That'd be absolutely incredible, wouldn't it? Absolutely. Black Sheep, Sal, I'm new to this channel. Do you do watch-alongs? Yes, Black Sheep. I've done it. Yeah, the streams will tell you I do a lot of games. I do all the Man United games, of course. I've done all the AFCON, guys. Yeah, done all the AFCON. I do some Premier League games and Champions League games. I might do some Champions League games this week as well. So, Black Sheep, big up yourself. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to put your notifications on. So when I do go live, you will see it. And check out I do a lot of... I've been doing them for 2 years. Know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. Every game, big up, Benny. Love, brother. Love, brother. I've never mentioned Amarim's name since last week. Yeah, Amarim Alters. Love to mention his name. I just don't get this obsession. You know what it is? Can I be honest why it is? And I'm going to say it like this. And I'm not trying to banter. I'm not trying to be anything. I think people are jealous of Ruben Amarim. I think they're jealous of him. I think there's a thing with ugly people. And I don't like to say, everyone's happy. Everyone's beautiful in their heart. You know what I mean? All that business. But I think... people on the less fortunate looking side are a little bit jealous of him. That's what I say. And they would turn against, Carrick's a good looking guy. Are they going to call us Carrick sexuals because we like Carrick and we want to support Carrick? Is that what they're going to do? Us people who were supporting Manchester United, it's not about supporting Ruben Amarim. We were supporting Manchester United. They were hoping Man United lose. We were supporting Man United. This is what we were doing. They were hoping Man United lose, right? That's the key here, right? And now we've already moved on to Carrick, supporting Carrick. They're still going on about Amarim. Before Amarim, they were still going about Ten Hag. You know what I mean? They have a backlog of going on about old managers. We will continue to support Carrick after Carrick. We continue to support the next manager and the next manager and the next manager. And that's what we do, I still like to see Baleba partner Mainu, too similar, mate, in midfield. I know Baleba name hasn't been mentioned for a while, but I think they would complement each other. They're very similar, mate. Baleba's not a traditional number 6. Mainu's a number 8. Baleba's a number 8. We'll be Bagel FC, mate. You need to have an Anderson, a Wharton, someone like that, who are 10 times better in that position, in my opinion. Generally, I don't take the people seriously. Don't take people seriously. I don't take people seriously. Some of them are idiots. There's some of them on this channel, normal lad, idiot, he's been there for a long time trying to banter, just gets schooled and drop mic on him. And, I don't understand why people live like that. I don't understand it. And I don't understand why people just dwell on the past. You know how many things I've been right about? I was right about Erik ten Hag when Erik ten Hag got sacked. I said things wouldn't improve. I was right about that, wasn't I? At the end of the day, I said that. They didn't. They got worse, didn't they? Because I said at the time when Erik ten Hag got sacked, it's not going to fix the problem. The problems are far deeper. The culture at the football club is flawed. The mentality at the football club is flawed. We went on there, didn't we? But they forget about that old chestnut. We all know that the ownership is crap. So the only thing left now is for this season is for Carrick and these players to deliver Europe. Even though it's a shit show, this should be for us fans. Absolutely. 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 Let me just block Normal Lad. Let me just find him 1 second. Yeah, we need quality in this show, guys. We need quality. Normal Lad is going to be blocked because he's a waste man. Let me just find him. And he can't find his dad. I'm like Normal Lad looking for his dad. I can't find him anymore. 1 second. Where's Normal Lad's dad? I can't find him. Hold on. I can't find it. I can't find the tart. Where is he? Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye to Normal Lad. It was nice knowing you, son. It was nice knowing you. Yale, Ruben is gone. Maybe he will be back when we get a different ownership with more experience. Those who wanted us to lose need to walk the plank. They need to go just like the Glazers, mate. And they all know where they are. They all did it at one point. They all said that I hope Man United lose. And I saw them. I ain't forgotten them. They all said that. They have no right to talk about Man United. Do you know what I mean? I hope Ineos have an idea of what style of play they are going for next. It's pointless getting a manager who play free at the back or pragmatic manager who sits deep and expect them playing attacking. It's pointless getting a manager who play. Yeah, it's pointless now, Vishwa. It is absolutely pointless. I'm tired of having... You know how tired I am of having that free at the back argument? My God, it was so frustrating, this free at the back argument. It was ridiculous. R.I.P. Normal Lad. A moment of silence for Normal Lad. It would always be a Normal Lad. Below normal. Below Normal Lad. It should be below normal. Below. A little bit low. Significantly below Lad. R.I.P. significantly lower Lad. It was good knowing you, fella. Carry on. Guys, big up Sal, the legend. Big up Noah. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, of course. Absolutely. Great show, guys. Absolutely flowed by it, of course. We need to carry on, guys. We need to keep the enthusiasm, keep the positivity, and let's hopefully we go to Arsenal next week. This week, goodness me, on Sunday and beat Arsenal. It'd be absolutely brilliant, guys. Guys, thank you. Is Ruben ever coming to Man U? Miles, Eagle. Is Ruben ever come to Man U? It's not Man U, by the way. You can't say Man U. If you know about Man United, we don't say Man U, just to let you know. If you know your history about Man United, if you haven't supported Man United for longer than 5 minutes, you know you don't call them Man U. We will get a result, Arsenal. Mark, big up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miles, is Ruben coming to Man U? Is your dad coming home? I don't know. Or do you know your dad is? I don't know. We will get a result at Arsenal. Big up myself. Good to see the club sub numbers going up each day. Thank you so much, Benny. Big up yourself, brother. We keep it pushing. Look, people will fall off, Benny. People will come in. People will fall off. People will come in. And that's what it is at the end of the day. It's not going to be easy game. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just wonder who's going to work with the culture and actually remove the rot, because that's what Amram was working on, which is the most important thing. But United fans are blinded by the media and formations. They're idiots, mate. A lot of the man-dem millions, of course, guys. The man-dem millions. You know what I mean? On their streams. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. Nod. ChurchillDog.com. Absolutely. Sorry, Miles. I apologize. Why didn't you say Ruben Neves? Because, you know, we got a lot of trolls today, Miles. You know that. Big up, Miles. Let's apologize to Miles. I thought you were someone else. Sorry, mate. Big up, Miles, in the house. Celebrating Miles. Didn't mean it. Love you, Miles. Big up. It's next week for me, but yeah, looking great for next week. Ruben Neves is a possibility, by the way, Miles. If you scroll back to the beginning of the show, I spoke about the 23 million euro price tag that is on him, which Man United are pondering on bidding at the moment. Nothing has been bidden on at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. Absolutely. The next week for me, but yeah, looking great for next week. Big up, my friend. It's next week for me, but yeah, look, so good you said it twice. Sal, Mandem, remember I told you bots like Normal Lad came to the channel to chat outrageous things and then go on Alice stream to glaze her. Do you think it's Alice? It could be. It could be Alice. It could be her, but she's a waste girl anyway. Fake Liverpool fan. Didn't Arsenal only get a result at Old Trafford because of the keeper mistake? Yes, Mark. Because we signed Senemens too late. I'm big Man United. Welcome, Miles. Welcome, Miles. Welcome to Stretford Post. Welcome to the family, mate. I thought you were someone else, but you know what? We got off to a bad start, but you know what? Miles is a legend. Welcome to the family. Welcome to Stretford Post. Absolute diamond. Love you, mate. Welcome. Beef Bully. Sal, mate, good week. Amazing. All our rivals dropped. Absolutely. Good week for Man United. Good weekend for Man United, wasn't it? Amazing weekend for Man United it was, guys. Absolutely. Guys, I got to go for a jog because I had a very indulgent weekend. I ate a lot of food. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be a man-dem minion. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys, at the end of the day. Thank you so much, guys. I'm off to the treadmill. And you guys have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world, guys. Big banter, big jokes. You know what? This is the greatest community in football. I don't care. It is the greatest community in football, guys. Have a great day, Benny. I'll see you all later. See y'all later. Cheers, Darren. Big up, Darren, my friend. I'll see you all later, guys. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, and we'll see you through the window. Take it easy. Peace.